though we know that it comes at the end of the day from Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, we also have to take the asbab as Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala teaches us. And the human being, the Muslim, is the one who is careful all the times, especially when it comes to these times when doctor or many doctors become businessmen. This is just mere means of making money. There was a study in England in 2006 that the very way the doctors write their prescriptions causes the death of 7,000 people a year, just because the way they write their prescriptions. Sometimes when you have ugly writing, they tell you, this looks like the doctor writing. Sometimes even the pharmacy person cannot read it. He has to call the doctor to confirm. Of course, people say that smart people generally don't have good handwritings. One of our great scholars, Safiyuddin al-Hindi, Shafi'i, was a great qadi, a great faqih. He is the author of Kitab al-Fa'iq fi Usul al-Fiqh. He said his friends used to laugh at him because he had very bad handwriting. He once went to the market and he went to a place where they sell books. He said, I came across some writings that was so extremely ugly. And I bought a book just to show my friends that I saw someone who writes worse than I do. And he said, when we opened the book, we found out it was my book. I am the one who wrote it in the beginning of my writings. You know? So when we arrive at this moment, we have to be very, very careful. But to be careful means what? First of all, as Muslims, we have to know and rely upon Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Know that there is nothing that can happen to us except with the decree and the qada and the qadr of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ, as Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says, upon Allah فَتَوَكَّلُوا. Upon Allah only you must rely. إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ, if you are true believers. He didn't say you must rely only on Allah. He said upon Allah only. He brings the preposition before even the verb. هذا أداة للحصر. وعلى الله فتوكلوا إن كنتم مؤمنين. ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه. Whoever relies upon Allah, Allah suffices him. In Surah Al-Tawbah, قُلْ لَنْ يُصِيبَنَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا فَكُنْ مَعَ اللَّهِ وَلَا تُبَالِي قُلْ لَنْ يُصِيبَ غَيْرُ ذِي الْجَلَالِ النَّارُ لَمْ تُحْرِقْ خَلِيلَ اللَّهِ وَالْبَحْرُ لَمْ يَقْتُلْ كَلِيمَ اللَّهِ كَلَّا وَلَا الْمُدَى ذَبِيحَ اللَّهِ والحوت لم يأكل أسير الله والحوت لم يأكل أسير الله والروم لم تصل لروح الله والكون لم يؤذي رسول الله عليه أفضل صلاة الله وآله إخوته بالله. And in this abiyat, the writer says that know that nothing can occur without the permission of Allah wa Ta'ala. Fire couldn't burn the friend of Allah, Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. And the knife could not kill Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam. The fish couldn't eat Sayyidina Yunus alayhi salatu wasalam. And Rome could not reach Sayyidina Isa to kill him when the Yahud wanted him to be crucified. Allah raised him to him subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the world, the entire world could not harm Sayyiduna wa Habibuna Habibullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's number one. We have to have the firm belief and the firm reliance of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Number two, we, as we all know that this religion, this deen, is a deen of cleanliness, deen of narafa. And most of these diseases come to us or get us through dirt or through things that are not clean, through lack of cleanliness. But Islam, before even you go to pray, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala prescribes for you to make wudu. You have janaba, for you to make ghusl, to be clean. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu idha qumtum ila as-salati faghsilu wujuhakum فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين وإن كنتم جنبا فطهروا. In Surah Nisa, in Surah Al-Baqarah, ولا تقربوهن حتى يطهرن فإذا تطهرن فاتوهن من حيث أمركم الله إن الله يحب التوابين ويحب المتطهرين. And do not approach them until they are pure. And when they have purified themselves, then come to them from where Allah ordained you. إن الله يحب التوابين ويحب المتطهرين. Indeed, Allah loves those who are constantly repentant and those who purify themselves. ويحب المتطهرين. And the Prophet ﷺ, as recorded in Sahih al-Muslim, said, "At-tuhur shatrul iman." Cleanliness is half of iman. He also, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, tells us in hadith, "Lawla an ashukka ala ummati aw ala al-nasi لأمرتهم بالسواك مع كل صلاة." Had I not thought it difficult for my ummah or for people, I would have commanded them to use the miswak, the toothstick, before every single salah. And when it comes to our food, or what we drink, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, "Kulu min tayyibati ma razaqnakum, kulu mimma fil ardi halalan tayyiban." It must not only be halal, but it has to be good too, clean, halal and tayyib. إن الله أمر المؤمنين بما أمر به المرسلين فقال يا أيها الرسل كلوا من الطيبات وَأَعْمَلُوا صَالِحًا. So the same thing Allah commanded through His messengers, He commanded to us. And the Prophet ﷺ in a hadith, that is in Sahih Muslim, said, غَطُّوا الْإِنَاءَ وَأَوْكِئُوا السِّقَاءَ. Cover up the containers where you put your food, and tie up the mouth of the water skin where you put your water. So all the nusus of Sharia تشير إلى وجوب اجتناب الأسباب المؤدية إلى انتقال العدوى، انتقال الأمراض. And this is what the Sahaba of Rasulullah understood. Sayyidina Umar, when he was going to Sham, when he reached a place called Sarl, he heard that in Sham there was a plague. And Abdurrahman ibn Auf told him that he heard Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saying, إِذَا سَمِعْتُمْ بِهِ بِأَرْضٍ فَلَا تَقْدُمُوا عَلَيْهِ وإذا وقع بأرض وأنتم بها فلا تخرجوا فرارا منه. The hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. وَاللَّهُ لِمُسْلِمٍ. He said he heard the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, if you hear that it, meaning i.e. the plague, has taken out in a land, do not go to it. But if it breaks out in a land where you are present, do not go out. Do not go out escaping from it. Firaran minhu, or running away from it. But the scholars have different way to understand this hadith. Because the Prophet ﷺ doesn't want those who are affected to take the plague to other places. But if there are ways that those who are not affected can be taken away from that place, to save them, of course, because this is what the deen came from, to protect our lives, our intellect, our deen, our wealth, our honor. Before you apply, before you follow, before you obey, before you worship,